Quarter century of pro football history wearing number 16 and the name Blanda.
Number 16, George Blanda, sparks the Bears as a passer and place-kicking specialist.
George Blanda and rookie Harlan Hill get together on a perfect pass play of 47 yards and a touchdown as the Bears square it off at 7-7, still in the first quarter. In the second quarter, George Blanda takes over the Chicago signal calling chores. Blanda opens up with a pass to Harlan Hill that gains 39 yards and puts the ball deep in the Lions' den. The victory-hungry Bears begin the second half impressively. George Blanda's short pass to Jim Dooley is turned into a long gain as Dooley dashes 42 yards to the Lions' 14. Again, the Detroit forward wall holds, but no one can stop Blanda as his field goal gives the Bears the lead once more. George Blanda moves the Bears through the air. He hurls for the jackpot. It's Harlan Hill hauling it in for his second touchdown as the Bears chew away at that 49er lead. This is Jim Leeming saying so long for now. I'll be back next week, same time, same channel, with the greatest pro football plays of the week. The Bears battle back with Blanda firing the furnace. He hoists a high one downfield. Jim Dooley makes a beautiful catch, and the Bears are on the 49er 15. If it's a touchdown you want, just hook up with Harlan Hill. Blanda does just that. Hill hustles across for his third six-pointer, and the favored 49ers find themselves in a 24-24 tie.
George Blanda's career touched 4 different decades. Blanda sat out the 1959 season. Then in 1960, he began a productive second act of his career with Houston of the American Football League. Blanda was one of the new league's best kickers, and he led the AFL in passing attempts and completions for 3 consecutive seasons. In 1961, he set a pro record by throwing for 36 touchdowns.
In 1965, the Houston Oilers moved to a new home, 70,000-seat Rice Stadium.
George Blanda fades to pass. He rifles a long one to speedster Charlie Frazier, and the net result, an 80-yard Houston touchdown.
Following a disastrous road trip, the Oilers return home to battle the Kansas City Chiefs. George Blanda, the league's all-time passing leader, connects for 5 touchdowns. This one to Charlie Frazier goes for 64 yards, put Houston on the winning track again. A rash of injuries to key defensive personnel is at the root of the Oilers' problems over the second half of the season. The passing offense continues to hum along beautifully. George Blanda's toss is taken by Dick Compton, turns it into a 95-yard scoring spree against the Buffalo Bills.
A couple of unknown guys now take charge for Houston. George Blanda is the passer, Charlie Hennigan the receiver. And before they're done, the Oilers have a victory, the Bills another defeat.
Bones Taylor gives veteran George Blanda the starting assignment, and Blanda responds by lofting the ball into the arms of Ode Burrell. Burrell has a couple of steps on his man, and he pulls away for a 48-yard touchdown. The Oilers take a 7-0 first quarter lead.
Cracks the scoring ice when the veteran quarterback George Blanda hits halfback Ode Burrell on a 52-yard touchdown pass, with Raider linebacker Dan Connors of Miami giving chase all the way to the end zone.
Leading 20-6 at the half, the Bills suffer a letdown as Blanda pegs the Oilers up and down the field. The 2 scoring tosses vault Houston into a tie with Buffalo, and the visitors are threatening to take the lead with less than a minute to play. The scene is set for the most exciting play of the season.
The Oilers fight back with this George Blanda to Willie Frazier score to make it 27 at the half.
And the name Blanda. On his first play, the 47-year-old Wonder Man dropped back, reared back, and fired a touchdown to Cliff Branch wearing number 21, and 21 years George's junior.
Monica's knee was injured late in the game and he could not play the following week. His replacement, 41-year-old veteran quarterback who played sparingly and is used as a kicking specialist. George Blanda, 19-year veteran of the football wars, had to beat the Denver Broncos to keep Oakland's title hopes alive. The old man murdered them. He threw 4 touchdown passes, won the longest scoring pass in Raider history, a 94-yard combination with Warren Wells. Not only did the Raiders win convincingly,
Raiders finally scored late in the third quarter when George Blanda hit Warren Wells.
veteran George Blanda provided another big play on a 46-yard field goal, and the Raiders won again. Win for the Raiders, their 14th in a row, and best of all, they were now number 1 in the West.
Houston's lead was 7-3, and from Miami came news that San Diego trailed the Dolphins. Another Raider drive and another Blanda field goal. Oakland inched closer, 7-6. Blanda once again found the range, and the Raiders finally led, 9-7.
First, Oakland's Darryl LaMonica was forced to leave the game with an injury. And lo and behold, there on the field was the man from yesteryear, number 16, the marvelous miracle worker, George Blanda. And right away, it was the 44-year-old George to number 44, Marv Hubbard, and Oakland led 24-17. But since then, there was no stopping the magician of the minute as he drove his team goalward. All the way, it was George Blanda in command, rolling over the Bengals, but more important, fighting off the one enemy it seems unable to...
Guile of age as creaky George Blanda, number 16, unlimbered to Ray Chester. But rookie tight end, Raymond Chester, number 87. Chester caught 3 touchdown passes, as well as this one that was called back. Number 3 hit him on this one, but Darryl soon left the game with an injury. LaMonica's backup, 43-year-old George Blanda, number 16, took over and kept the ball spinning toward Chester, who is 21 years George's junior. By now, the Steelers were only spectators at the Raymond Chester show, and they watched bedazzled as Oakland's third great strike-from-anywhere receiver cut a swath to the end zone where he was deservedly congratulated.
LaMonica's knee was injured. He could not play the following week. His replacement was a 41-year-old veteran quarterback who played sparingly and is used as a kicking special. George Blanda, 19-year veteran of the football wars, had to beat the Denver Broncos to keep Oakland's title hopes alive. The old man murdered them. He threw 4 touchdown passes, won the longest scoring pass in Raider history, a 94-yard combination with Warren Wells. Not only did the Raiders win convincingly.
So with 12 games to play, the job was to start anew, to work with young people and a few veterans. Make 1967 a year of transition rather than a year of waste. To find the men who would take the Denver Broncos up the ladder.
To the final showdown with the Chiefs. A showdown for supremacy in the Western Conference and home field advantage in the playoffs.
It was Oakland 51, San Diego 10. The Raiders were the new Western Division leaders with 6 victories and only 1 defeat.
And all of Oakland stood and cheered the amazing career of their ageless idol, who has been named the NFL's Man of the Year for 1974. Quarter century of pro football history wearing number 16 and the name Blanda.